Hi parents, welcome to our virtual back to school night. I'm Chelsea Leary, and this is for our U.S. History 1 class. So the teachers are me and Mr. Balaban, who will introduce himself in a second. So we just wanted to take a few minutes to go over a little bit about what this course will look like, our grading policy, and introduce our daily routine so you can get a feel for what your students will be experiencing in class every day. So for the most part, when the students come into class, they can expect to have some type of a do now or discussion question on the board for them. Students on our Zoom days, which we try to do every other day, sometimes even a little bit more than that, we'll be setting up the Zoom. They'll have an assignment on Classroom. If there's like a PowerPoint that we're going through, we'll share the screen with our students that are on Zoom, and we'll go through that. So the class tends to consist of some notes and PowerPoints and discussions. We do a lot of current events and class discussions where we're looking to hear the students' opinions and make sure that they're engaged and talking. We're going to try to do as much group work as we can, so that will maybe be just shared Google Docs or shared PowerPoints or something. And we do show some video clips that relate to the class content. So this year the course is very interesting. So there's a lot of stuff that we can show that will relate to the current world too. And we'll end the class with a closure or a reinforcement just to make sure that the students understood what we were teaching for the day. And in terms of homework, we don't tend to give too much homework. We don't want to overwhelm anybody, but when we do give homework, it might be finishing up the assignment that they didn't get to at the end of class, or maybe it's a reading or something to get them prepared for our next class meeting. The grading policy for the class: tests and projects are worth 35% of their grade. So for any type of long-term project or test, they'll always have notice, usually about a week for a test. And in terms of a project, usually we'll do most of it in class, and they'll have quite a bit of notice as to when it's due. Quizzes, they might have a little less notice, but we'll still do some type of review sheet or make sure that they're prepared for the quiz, and that'll be worth 25% of the grade. Homework is worth 15% of their grade. Like I said, we don't want to overwhelm them with too much homework, so it makes it even more important when they do get homework that it gets done. And then classwork and participation, we do try to make this class very discussion-based, and we want to have people actively participating in class. So we try to put in grades as frequently as possible to give credit when students are really active and participating. And classwork, as long as they're completing the work on time and they're on task in class, everyone usually succeeds in the classwork category. All of our assignments are posted on Google Classroom. We also both have teacher pages with calendars that you can access due dates to projects, homework, and long-term assignments. And now Mr. Balaban is going to go through the course outline.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Balaban. I'm looking forward to a great school year. This is now my 10th school year at Rutherford High School, and I've been teaching United States History 1 for a long time, and I'm very excited to have another great school year. So to start the school year, we always begin the class by talking in great detail about the impact that the end of the Civil War had on American society beginning in 1865. So we always begin the class by asking the students to come up with an idea of what they think America was like in a variety of ways in 1865, geographically, economically, politically, etc. So from there, we build the foundation for them to understand and comprehend and analyze the ways in which America went from being a heavily divided country during the Civil War to a country that had to come back together and rebuild and reconstruct itself after the Civil War. So in terms of the content that we teach post-1865, we begin by studying the industrial age. So say, for example, we introduce figures like Rockefeller and Carnegie and Vanderbilt and J.P. Morgan, and we'll do a great deal of learning about the Gilded Age and the ways in which America developed at this time, from the expansions of cities to the building of railroads, and to the just massive amount of innovation that took place in America in the latter portion of the 1800s. From there, we're going to learn all about urbanization and immigration. We'll see how cities rapidly sprouted up across the country. We'll analyze the ways and factors that really went into determining, where cities would develop and grow and prosper. We'll do a large research project on immigration and Ellis Island, how our country transformed fundamentally in many ways during this point in time. We'll spend a lot of time also learning about the progressive era in American history. We'll talk about how presidents like Taft and Teddy Roosevelt put laws and regulations into place that made for a safer country, made for a more prosperous country, made for a healthier country. We talk about things like the FDA and putting provisions on food safety. Then when we cross into the next topic, we'll learn about imperialism. We'll learn about how America in the late 1800s and early 1900s really followed many trends that were already happening in Europe in terms of taking over smaller countries and kind of using them for military and economic benefits. We'll really analyze the downsides and the negative outcomes of imperialism as well. We'll have hopefully a robust debate on that topic. From there, we'll move into World War I, and we'll spend a great deal of time learning about the reasons why war broke out in Europe before America ever got involved in what was then called the Great War. Following World War I, we'll learn about the Roaring Twenties, and we'll really, kind of drill down on the fact that the 20s were such a prosperous and thriving decade, in large part because of the innovations that came to be following World War I, and and the Spanish flu that occurred at the same time. From there, we'll get into the Great Depression. We'll talk about the stock market crash of 1929 and the abundance of the factors that made America have a very, very, very difficult time economically throughout the 1930s. As the year progresses and we get closer to April and May, we're going to move into our final two topics of the year, which are the New Deal, programs in which FDR put forth ideas and plans and policies to combat the Great Depression. And finally, World War II. We're going to spend most of the fourth market period on that topic, and the kids usually really, really enjoy learning about that. So I'm excited for a great year. I know Ms. Lear is excited for a great year. We're excited to next year, have a back to school night in person. But for now, if you need to get in touch with us, please feel free to contact us by email at dbalaban@rutherfordschools.org, cleary@rutherfordschools.org. We have virtual office hours every afternoon. So if your kids need to get in touch with us to ask questions or some extra help, they can always reach us during office hours through Zoom or email and then Zoom. And we're also here before and after school at room 308. So look forward to a great school year and see you soon. Okay, bye-bye.